When dealing with people, remember, you're not dealing with creatures of logic, you are dealing with creatures of emotions. That's a quote by Dale Carnegie. Crisis. Suddenly, what is the next step in my career? Is there a next step? Why can I not make career in the US? Why does my car have to get bigger every year? Why are colleagues making promotions and I am not? All these questions, and they keep throwing through mind, and it's quite a difficult time. And I feel I have to work on it. I have to decide what is the not, where is the not? Is it at work or is it at home? And I decide it's both. It's at home and in my job. So I start to look for a new job, and I also, with my wife, start to work on our relationship with the help of a psychologist. And he explains about how our relation works, and we try and we do that for 2.5 years, because we want to repair the relationship, if only because of the kids. But after that time, we decide it's better to go separate ways. At that time, I stay in houses of friends, and I remember that going to one of these the first houses, it really felt like heaven. And I remember that when I went through the door, and they were on a holiday, but I went through that door, and it suddenly felt, and I'm sorry for the noise, but it felt like I had 25 kilos of potatoes on my back, and when I walked through that door, they fell off. Boom. And I remembered looking back and said, Eric, where did this go? And I couldn't tell, but it felt such a relief. So in that time, of course, I made my first food. I had sushi that I made myself, 100% myself. I drank Corona beers and did all sorts of things, just sort of celebrate my freedom. But then after time, I did get some moments of reflection, and I was actually looking for what is my personal power, and what is my personal power, and can you feel it? Can you see it? And that brought me to the thing that everything has to do with awareness. A lot of things that go on in your life, they go on without you noticing. And some even say that we're only 5% aware of what we're doing. Now, 5% may be a little bit little, but on the other hand, at this moment you will probably not feel what your left toe is feeling on the upside or the downside, inside your shoe or inside your sock or on the floor. And now that we discuss it, you will probably feel where it is and what it touches. So there's a lot of things going on unconsciously in your body, and personal power is also one of the things that go about most of the time very unconsciously, and we're not aware. But in order to develop that, of course, you have to be aware of it, and you have to start asking yourself questions. And the questions for this lesson are, what is it that you really want? And the second question is, what is it that you really want for the world? Take your notes. So that's it for today. And remember, I read books on personal power, so you don't have to. But of course, if you like to, you're most welcome.